Black Ops 7 multiplayer has released with 6 different assault rifles, all of them feeling quite unique, but one thing they all do have in common is that the recoil feels insane, especially when you're using the base weapons, and also on top of that, it feels like these guns kill a little bit slower than in other COD titles. But this video is going to go over which ones are the best assault rifles to use inside Black Ops 7 multiplayer right now. We're going to do a recoil comparison as well as a TTK comparison, and then we'll let you know which ones are the ones you want to actually try and unlock to get ahead of the game. Jumping straight into the recoil charts first, we've got the MXR17, then we've got the X9 Maverick, the Peacekeeper, we do have the DS20 Mirage, we've got the M15 Mod Zero, and we've also got the AK-27. Now these are all 6 of the weapons. It's probably a bit difficult to see the recoil from these screenshots, but I just wanted to show you the in-game screenshots for the recoil. But we're going to clean this up for you a little bit and make it a little bit more visible for you to see. So now you can see this is a 10-meter recoil chart, so the shots were fired at a 10-meter distance. We've got all the different weapons and we've got the recoil charts right here. Now when it comes to the most vertical recoil, the DS20 has the absolute most vertical control. Now they don't have really weird recoil patterns, they're pretty much straight vertical for the most part, but it does feel like the recoil climbs very quickly on most of these guns. So the MXR does fire a little bit slower and it feels like it's a bit more controllable. When it comes to the Peacekeeper, it does fire really quickly with the fire rates, but we'll get on into that in just a moment. The X9 Maverick is a burst fire weapon, so it's going to be a lot more accurate, but obviously you've got a bit of time delay between each burst. When it comes to the M15 mod, that one is probably the most accurate in terms of all the full auto guns, and the AK-27 is doing some really crazy stuff by going straight vertically upwards and then directly across horizontally towards the right, which just feels so weird to try and manage. Now what we have on screen is some important numbers. These are the TTK values in milliseconds across the board for every single gun. The damage numbers for this were taken from the in-game stats, so providing that they're accurate, then this should be also accurate too. We've also got the rate of fire, bullet velocity, ADS time there as well, because I do feel like all of that is important too. And as you can see, when it comes to the time to kills, we're looking at an average of around about 300-ish, but let's try and organize for the super close range and which one kills the absolute quickest. For super close range, the Maverick is going to kill the absolute quickest in terms of TTK. Even though it is a burst fire gun, it does have a fast time to kill, which is pretty impressive to be fair. Then when we're looking at the next gun down, it's the AK-27. Of course, this gun has that insane weird recoil pattern, so that's something to keep in mind. And then followed by the Peacekeeper. Then when we're looking at the second range, we've got the Peacekeeper coming out on top this time, which is a full auto gun. Obviously the Peacekeeper is more of a closer range assault rifle anyway. And then we've followed by the M15 Mod Zero, which is, like I said, one of the lower recoil guns as well. Now we're looking into range 3, which is round about 30 to 40 meters with most of the assault rifles in this game. Again, the Peacekeeper comes out on top with the AK-27 followed by the Maverick. So those guns have the faster of the time to kill bunch. And then lastly, if we're looking at that final damage range, the AK-27 comes out on top. Then we have the DS20 Mirage, which kind of pops up out of nowhere. And then we also have the M15 Mod Zero. Lastly, I just want to organize for which one has the fastest aim down sight time, because this is going to be super important, especially inside multiplayer, more so than any other mode in this game. So we've got Peacekeeper, which comes out on top at 225 milliseconds of ADS, and that's obviously for the base weapon. And then we've got the MXR17 coming out second, and then the M15 Mod Zero coming out in third place. So what does this all actually mean? Well, I'm going to recommend you 2 weapons. Both are kind of quite opposite of each other. The first is the M15 Mod Zero. If you want more of a longer range, more accurate weapon to use that's going to be relatively easy to control for the most part, then this is the one you want to use. Now, I have made a relatively balanced build here. It's not a super long range build. You could definitely do that with other attachments, but what we've got is the LTI Mini, we've got the EAM Steady 90 grip, we've got the Contraband grip, the Bowen stock, which helps a lot with recoil by the way, and the Instinct laser. Now you can go 8 attachments on this if you want, and the build code is on screen just now for you. But how this feels in the firing range is actually pretty good too. So when you're actually shooting the bots, it actually feels super accurate, especially at medium range. It feels really good. When you try and go for those super long ranges, so let's say we're looking at this target right here, this is where you start to kind of miss a couple of shots, right? And obviously aim assist is a bit weaker in this game too, so just keep that in mind when you're actually trying to fire your shots. You can definitely get kills at this distance with this build, but you definitely need to learn the recoil of the gun. The next gun is the Peacekeeper Mark 1, which is more of a closer range option. You could definitely use it for mid-range as well, which we'll show you in just a moment. But when it comes to the build, you want to use the KNS compensator, the EAM steady underbarrel grip. Once again, it gives you movement, but also horizontal control. We've got the dive edge 7 grip this time round for the dive to fire, slide to fire, and aim down sight. All this will help us out a ton. Then we've got the aim down sight and sprint to fire laser, which is the LTI swift point, but you can swap this out for a recoil controlling laser if you really want to, for the extra control in the weapon. And then we've got the buffer springs. Now, taking this one into the firing range, as you can see, the ADS time on this gun is ridiculously quick. And even out to that kind of medium range here on this bot, you can definitely kill him without any problems at all. And the TTK of this gun is insane, by the way, obviously, as you've seen earlier with the stats and the numbers. But again, when you're trying to hit shots at the super far ranges with this gun, obviously there's no optic as well here, you're really going to struggle a bit because the recoil is all over the place and you really want more recoil controlling attachment for that. But right now, like I said, this is more of a mid-range, close-range build for the assault rifle class, and the Peacekeeper is perfect for that. So there we have it. That is our assault rifle weapon comparison when it comes to recoil, time to kills, and also a couple of recommendations. If you want to see more videos like this for the other weapon classes in Black Ops 7, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we'll be making way more content on this game as well. And if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. Thank you very much for watching.